All right, welcome back, Fast Willy fans. You are here for the 5th Poptart Mukbang. That is right, we are going to start the Poptart Playoffs today. If you're new here, what this is I fast for 81 hours, and then I break my fast with 10 packs of Pop-Tarts in an attempt to start my day eating 10,000 calories. It's an experiment to see where my body will be after 28 days. We've tried 20 Pop-Tart flavors to this point, and we've narrowed it down to 12 Pop-Tarts that made the playoffs. Our first matchup is going to be cherry versus chocolate fudge. The first one's just popped up as we were going live, so let me get these out. How this is going to work is I'm going to eat one of each flavor and alternate back and forth, and just kind of give you an update of how I'm feeling about each one. Happy Friday. That is right. Happy Friday, Judy. I'm so happy you guys are back to join me for my 5th Poptart Mukbang. I'm going to go over the bracket here in a second, but if you haven't seen it yet, you can go over to my YouTube channel, Fast Willy, and watch as the lottery was drawn for the bracket seedings. I'm not sure if you can read behind me here. I'll give you a close-up later on. But we had 2 automatic buys, Brown Sugar Cinnamon and S'mores, who just blew away the field in the regular season. We'll see if anybody can make up ground in the playoffs, going back and forth eating 1-to-1. All right. I'm going to give you a breakdown now of the bracket. We have the number 1 seed, Brown Sugar Cinnamon, will play the winner of this round, which is cherry versus chocolate fudge. On bottom, on this side, we have an unfrosted strawberry Pop-Tart with butter on top. That's right, if you're watching for the first time, we have discovered that if you have an unfrosted Pop-Tart, butter is a performance-enhancing drug. Absolutely. I don't think I'll ever eat an unfrosted Pop-Tart without butter on it. Unfrosted strawberry with butter gets the bye. It will face off against chocolate chip or hot fudge sundae. That'll be our next matchup. We're going to work on this side of the bracket today and get it down to 2 teams. Then on Poptart Mukbang number 6, we're going to move on to this side, where S'mores is the top seed. S'mores will face off against the winner of Wild Berry versus Confetti Cupcake. Raspberry got the 4th bye. Raspberry will face the winner of Chocolate Cupcake versus Unfrosted Brown Sugar Cinnamon, boosted with the performance-enhancing drug of butter. I'm excited to see how it all pans out. What do you guys think of the first round matchups? Who are the first 4 that are going to get through? Between cherry and chocolate fudge, chocolate chip and hot fudge sundae, confetti cupcake and wild berry, and chocolate cupcake and unfrosted brown sugar cinnamon with butter. Let me know in the comments. Sam, you are right. This cherry with the chocolate fudge, like if I could put 2 flavors together, I don't know if there's a better combo than cherry and chocolate fudge. This is good. No. Ryan says fudge, hot fudge, wild butter, and unfrosted. Ryan, there's no such thing as wild butter. I get what you're saying though. The wild berry over the confetti cupcake. Easily the weakest matchup, in my opinion. If I have to make one easy prediction, it's that S'mores is just going to roll over the winner of this one. Like, it's not even going to be close. Dude. This is a close one. You remember we had chocolate fudge frozen in the second mukbang. I prefer it. I liked it frozen, but for these purposes, I prefer it toasted. It's a good Pop-Tart, and coming into this tournament, I would have told you the chocolate fudge was my number 2 favorite Pop-Tart. My number 2. However, cherry is moving on to the next round. What a pleasant surprise. After the first 2 mukbangs, I was so disappointed by fruit flavors. And cherry came from out of nowhere and was like, nah, dog, we can still do fruit. We can still do fruit. I thought it was going to be just chocolate flavors moving on. We're going to move cherry on to the next round. Cherry's moving on. Let's move on to the next set of flavors. We are going to have chocolate chip, which is in our 4th mukbang. Versus hot fudge sundae. Let's get these down. Put this in here. That really was a good matchup. We're going to move on to chocolate versus chocolate. This is going to be our first chocolate versus chocolate matchup. Excited for that. Let's get the flavor showing here. And while that's going, let's move on. We were talking about the fruit just a second ago, which leads me to a question. What's up with the fruit flavors? Coming into this, I had 20 flavors of Pop-Tarts that we tried out. Only 4 of 12 in the playoffs are fruit flavors. We have cherry, unfrosted strawberry, wild berry, and raspberry. Why is it that the fruit flavors couldn't move on when they had just as many flavors as dessert flavors? There were 10 fruit flavors and 10 dessert flavors. 4 fruit flavors made it in, 8 dessert flavors made it in. Now, here's an interesting thing that was told to me by my friend Dan. Pop-Tarts used to have Smucker's fruit on contract to make the fruit filling for Pop-Tarts. But since then, it's become an in-house thing. And maybe, you know, it could be my taste buds and I don't like the fruit that much. Or it could be that I toasted them and you're not supposed to toast fruit Pop-Tarts. So I've heard. I don't know. I think they're better toasted. That cherry one toasted was good. Or maybe it's just that these fruit flavors aren't the same fruits that we remember from our childhood when we had the strawberry. I mean, that strawberry had a weak showing in this tournament, or in this season. All right, let's pull these out. Ooh. All right, these look good. Hot fudge sundae, chocolate chip. Sam says not blueberry. Nah, blueberry was trash. Blueberry didn't hold up. Blueberry is probably like, I don't know, Fruit Loops was a clear 20th. I guess I have that considered a fruit, but I don't know if it really is. I guess when I was a kid, I would consider Fruit Loops a serving of fruit. All right, let's get this started. I know Adrian last time really wanted me to move on to chocolate chip. We're going to see chocolate chip versus hot fudge sundae. What do you guys think? Chocolate chip versus hot fudge sundae. And how many of you are eating Pop-Tarts at home? I know I had a few friends telling me, hey, I got some Pop-Tarts. I'm ready for the mukbang tomorrow. That's amazing. Thank you. I'm also going to have some Bruton Dairy chocolate milk. This stuff is good. Judy says they didn't have all those crazy flavors when you were young. I don't know. I don't remember. I mean, they had to have the fruit flavors though. I mean, as I said, it's always been brown sugar cinnamon in my house. I tried a frozen hot fudge sundae. I prefer toasted. Me too, Mikey. Ryan says, I just ate a hot fudge sundae Pop-Tart. Welcome to the club. Well, I guess you should be welcoming me to the club. I'm about to take my first bite right now. This is a big one for you. Woo! While we're on this, I want to give a shout out to our flavors that didn't make it. It was tough competition. Pop-Tarts are delicious. But I just want to run you through the list of the Pop-Tarts that were in the bottom 8. We had the SpongeBob Sea Berry. We had Fruit Loops. We had Strawberry Milkshake. Look, this is another tight competition, I'm telling you. Pretzel Cinnamon Sugar did not make it. Although, that one didn't get a fair shake because I only ate one of them. Strawberry did not make it. Sorry, Tommy. Blueberry, which, again, Dan told me. Blueberry's in his top 5. It's not my top 5. I did not like it at all. We had cookies and cream. And we had apple cinnamon, the Simply Apple Cinnamon Orchard. It was fine. Kieran says Bruton Dairy chocolate milk is the best milk of all time. Like, I want you all to know, Kieran just comes on here and speaks facts. That's all he do. Alright. This is a close competition. I'm going to get the next ones down in the toaster. And you guys think you've seen some competition now, but it's time for the big dog to come out. We're moving on to the second round of this side of the bracket. And it's time for the big boy to come out and play. We're going to see what Cherry can do. Megan asks, how was this fasting cycle? I'm going to be honest with you. My first day of this fasting cycle was one of my hardest days so far on the 28-day challenge. I just didn't feel good. I remarked to Brenna that I was feeling kind of queasy at the end of my first day of fasting. But that changed. Second day I woke up and was feeling a lot better. I would say that my eating on my last day of eating was my worst yet in terms of like nutrition. I just ate a ton of candy. So maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe it has nothing to do with the fasting. I just didn't feel great on the first day of the fast. Since then, I felt better on the second day. I felt better on the third day. But then, my weight this morning was higher than my weight the morning of my last mukbang. That's the first time that that's happened during this challenge. So we'll see if that was just a setback. Maybe my body just wasn't feeling good and held on to some extra weight. Things like that happen. But we'll see. We'll go on to the next phase and we'll see how my body reacts. Thank you for asking, Megan. Megan, how is your body feeling? Adrian says, Mikey and Will should have a Pop-Tart eating competition. Listen, I'll do it, but I'll get smoked. I'll get crushed. I'm not bad at speed eating, but that dude's on another level. like he faced off against Joey Chestnut, right? We have an eater live in our comments right now who has faced off against Joey Chestnut. He lost, obviously. All right. All right, so with that said, I'm going to move on to my next slide. And this is going to be the more informative part. Although I don't have too much to go into in terms of health this time because I wanted to set up all of the playoffs and everything. But I do have something to say. During my butter rant before, my friend Roberto, watching from Dublin, shout out to Dublin, to you and Alyssa, messaged me and said, duh, you're supposed to leave your butter out. But he also said, tell everybody in America to leave your eggs out as well. And so I did some research on this because if anybody's been to Europe or some other places in the world, everybody leaves their eggs out, whereas here in America, we keep them in the fridge. I'm gonna dive into these. Yes, my weight now is way lower than when I first started. I was making pretty significant jumps. I have a video, go watch my halfway video, and you can see it's crazy. It looks like a heart rate monitor going up and down like this. My weight from so I'll eat 10,000 calories today and it'll jump way back up. But then 4 pounds, 3 pounds, 3 pounds, 1 pound, back down, and it'll end up being like a pound or 2 pounds lower than my last lowest day. It's really interesting. Back to these eggs. Here's the thing. We refrigerate eggs in America to help prevent salmonella. But also, not refrigerating eggs everywhere else in the world is to prevent salmonella. So, if you're in America, do not leave your eggs out. We just do things a little differently. We have standards for washing the eggs and then refrigerating them. When you take an egg out, if you make it cold and then take it out of refrigeration, it increases the likelihood of foodborne illness. Whereas in other places that do not have refrigerated eggs, they standardize giving vaccines to chickens for salmonella, whereas here in the United States, we do not. So the chickens lay eggs that could have it if they're contaminated, but we wash them of all of the dirt and everything else disgusting that's in the factory farms where we get our eggs from. We wash them, we refrigerate them, the whole supply chain stays refrigerated. You buy them refrigerated, you put them in your refrigerator. If you let them sit out, the longer they sit out, the more chance of foodborne illness. Elsewhere, because they have the vaccine, they are not going to get that salmonella. So don't look at the rest of the world and say, oh, we can leave our eggs out. There's a reason for that. Both ways work, but you can't combine them. Megan asked, interesting, I never knew that. Did the eggs last as long? I really don't know how long eggs last when they're left out. I could try to find that out, but I would think it's a while. If you go to a grocery store or like a convenient place, there's just like a pallet with a bunch of cartons of eggs there. It's like kept next to the bread loaves. So maybe it lasts as long as a bread loaf would. Alright. Do you guys want me to comment on who's going to win this one, or do we just know? Miranda has a friend that used to give her eggs, and they were never refrigerated. That's exactly right. And the difference there, Miranda, is that those eggs aren't coming from a huge factory farm where bacteria and other foodborne illnesses run rampant if it's not kept under strict control. So eggs are one of the healthiest foods you can eat. It might be the healthiest food. It sucks that in the 80s we had oh yeah, eggs, cholesterol. You already heard me yell about that. Eggs are #1 food. We should just be eating eggs, honestly. Just eat eggs. But if you're getting them from a great source like that, like my friend has chickens in her backyard, you could probably leave them out. Alright. Brown sugar cinnamon is going to move on. Cherry had a good run, and if you're looking for a fruit flavor Pop-Tart, I highly recommend the cherry. Oh, I never said who moved on between hot fudge sundae and chocolate chip. It's going to be hot fudge sundae moving on. We're going to get a unfrosted strawberry in. We're going to get a hot fudge sundae in. Here's an interesting fact I learned about Pop-Tarts from my friend Justin Middleton. The wrappers for the chocolate flavors, I'm not sure if this is the chocolate chip or the hot fudge sundae, are thicker than the fruit flavors in the other ones. You won't be able to tell through the video, but even this brown sugar cinnamon one is really thin compared to the chocolate one. So if you ever have loose Pop-Tarts in your drawer and you're like, man, I have 2 Pop-Tarts here, I don't know which flavor is which. If you have a thicker wrapper, that's more likely the chocolate flavor. Cookies and Cream has a particularly thick wrapper. Alright. We're 6 Pop-Tarts in, I have 4 more to eat. I want everybody to know I had a job interview this week. That's right. And if you're the HR rep for the company that I applied for, or you're the person who is responsible for doing a background check, and you found your way to the Fast Willy Mukbang, welcome. You have found an employee who can captivate 18 people at 8 o'clock in the morning on a weekday while he's eating Pop-Tarts and talking about nonsense. I think that that is a skill that can translate well to whatever position you have. So thank you for tuning in. All right, we're going to move on. It's really important for me to let everybody know I did have that job interview. I'm not currently working. That's what affords me the time to do the Poptart Mukbang. But I need to say, I got in trouble with my wife recently. That's right. Here's what happened. I was making a video. Hold on, let's get these out. Let me get this strawberry Poptart out. I'm going to leave you guys there for a second. I'm going to leave you there on this slide. I'll be right back. All right, we got the butter. Boom, Plugra. I'm telling you, just try it once. It's a little bit more expensive than your normal butter, but give it one try. Put it on. If you like a bagel with butter or you like bread with butter, get this salted. Put it on that. You're going to thank me later. All right, back to the topic at hand. I was making a video where I was cooking in it, and I said something to the tune of like, oh, I make most of the food in our house. And while that is true, it's true because of two reasons. One, I currently don't have a job, and two, my wife is currently 6 months pregnant. So I do all of the cooking, even when I'm fasting, and even when I'm fasting, I cook a lot of her meals for her. But really, the truth of that is the only reason is because I have more capability right now. I have more bandwidth to do it, and I don't want to give the impression that she doesn't know how to cook or that I'm a better cook. If you think that the food that I'm posting on my channel looks good, you should see some of the stuff that she cooks. Seriously. So I need to give her a little bit of a shout out. There's a taxi in my driveway. That's weird. I didn't know those still existed. Alright, he's gone. So I want to give her a shout out and just let you all know that if you think I can cook, she can cook twice as good. And most of everything that I've learned about cooking, I've learned from her. Alright, let's move on to the next round. We're going to have hot fudge sundae versus the unfrosted strawberry with butter. Is this white stuff like supposed to be marshmallow filling? Megan says, "Fact, you were both amazing cooks." Thank you, Megan. I really appreciate that. Megan once made some of the best bread I've ever tasted. I almost couldn't even eat it. It was so good. It's icing filling. It's just a little bit choppy. I'm not sure if I'm having a little bit of issues here. Alright, let's get these done. Alright. This is interesting. Alright. Maria says, "That's why I love Brenna." Yeah. I can see it. Alright. We're done with the... After I announce the winner of this one, we're done with the competition for the day. I do need to eat 2 more Pop-Tarts. So... like, I'm not going to let a brown sugar cinnamon go to waste. And I might as well eat the other one of this unfrosted strawberry. When I originally had this strawberry with the butter, I was kind of like, that's unique and I like it. However, now on the second go, I've had butter on the unfrosted brown sugar cinnamon. It's just not doing it for me as much as it did the first time. I don't like the strawberry filling as much as the cherry. So I have to move hot fudge sundae on over this one. I like it, but it's just it's tough competition. But the hot fudge sundae really is just like is really good. We're gonna move on to the last one. We're gonna move on to the last slide, where instead of ranking the tarts now, we're gonna update the bracket. I made it a little bit bigger here so you can see this side of the bracket. I'm not sure if you can, but here just, again, it was brown sugar cinnamon had a bye. Faced off against cherry, which beat chocolate fudge. And then chocolate chip was against hot fudge sundae. Hot fudge sundae moved on. Unfrosted strawberry against hot fudge sundae. Hot fudge sundae moved on. So we are gonna fill that in. Live. Hot fudge. Hot fudge. That's right, hot fudge sundae coming without the bye, winning 2 matchups And then we had cherry beating chocolate fudge. And then we had brown sugar cinnamon. Brown sugar cinnamon and hot fudge sundae will move on to the final four, which will happen next Saturday. Judy says, after this is all over, you're going to never eat Pop-Tarts again. Possibly, within the next few days, I'm going to be announcing what my next challenge will be, which will be happening just after next Saturday will be the last Poptart Mukbang 10,000 calorie day. Then the next day, I'm going to be starting my next challenge, and we'll see if that includes Pop-Tarts or not. I hope not. You might be onto something. I might not ever want to eat one again. I'm going to put this brown sugar cinnamon back down in for a minute because I like it over toasted, for real. I'll show you exactly how I like it. I'm going to put some more butter on this guy. Do you guys have any questions for me? Do you have any good plans for this weekend? I know two of my best friends have some really big plans this weekend. I don't want to get too big into it, but got something really awesome going on. Judy, what are you up to this weekend? Shout out to Judy and Roxy. That's right, Roxy, the French bulldog. New to the family. I'm sure she's watching at home, chewing on a little squeak toy. I don't think that I'm seeing the comments, but that's fine. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna keep going. Oh, this last brown sugar cinnamon is gonna be good. Alright, let's pop this up out of here. Oh, sorry for that burp. I hope you liked it. If you're here for the mukbang, I hope you like that burp. Alright. I'm sorry, I don't think I can see any of your comments. I'm gonna finish this. Check out this brown sugar cinnamon. It's a little bit over toasted. It's not quite where I want it to be. I think I was asked a little bit earlier, is my goal right now weight maintenance or is it weight loss? And really what my goal is to see what's gonna happen with my body during this challenge. Oh, a really hot, harder mukbang. It was really hot. Super hot. What's your timer set on your toaster? I'm not sure if this is minutes, but it's on like 2.5, almost 3. So I probably had this in for like 5 minutes. I've heard that, I keep hearing this, if you fry a Pop-Tart on the bottom, you put it into a skillet, it makes the bottom nice and crispy, the middle gooey. I don't know what does at the top, probably nothing. Absolutely, John, this is hot as Charles. It is hot as Charles. God, it's so hot. Alright. I'm going to finish this. It's so hot. I'm gonna put it in. Oh, bad idea. Bad idea. Don't do that. Alright, that apple juice made it better. Brown sugar cinnamon with apple juice. That's a pretty good combo. Alright. It's hot. It's hot. Alright. My comments are slow. I just want to say thank you everybody for tuning in to this mukbang. Hopefully we'll have better connection next time I can talk to you guys. Thank you so much. I'm ready to go and get ready for my day. I'm going to eat 10,000 calories today, which I will share with you in a vlog later on. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Have a great day, everyone.